Hi teachers, Brother Judd here, and I have some help for your lesson for 2 Nephi chapter 28 verses 1 through 26. Now this lesson is all about seeing through the deceptions of the adversary. Nephi gives us some really great scriptures about what those deceptions are and how we can combat them. Now, as usual, the lesson is broken up into, the introduction. It gives us a couple of videos, which are really great videos. The one from Elder Bednar about cheetahs and topies, and then spiritual crocodiles from President Packer, classic seminary video. Those are really good. However, if your students are coming in, early morning, a bit groggy, and they're not quite ready to engage, as engaging as these videos are, they might miss some of the spiritual significance of them if you don't do some kind of readiness activity on the front end before you watch the videos. I can just imagine that as good as these videos are, the students come in, you say, hey guys, we're going to start class with a video today. You start playing a video and you might lose some of the kids if you're not careful. Now at the very end of the lesson, it suggests a possible other way to begin the lesson. It says, consider displaying some objects or pictures of some of Satan's strategies listed in the scriptures. For example, chains, a baby pacifier, and a rocking chair, to wrap us up in his chains, to pacify, lull him into his carnal security, a rocking chair, all is well in Zion, everything's just fine. And then invite students to look at the pictures and, what do they have to do with the scriptures. Okay, that's a little better because it's engaging students, letting them do something than just passively watching a video. Another suggestion might be, to engage students more is to have some fun with deception. Now, the deceptions of Satan are no fun, and we don't want to give them any credence. We don't want to give them any screen time, so to say. But there are other deceptions that are quite fun. So, for example, a magic trick. A magic trick is a fun way to talk and introduce the concept of deceptions in a very low-risk, non-threatening way. So, if you know a magic trick, share it with your class. It'd be, something fun to do there at the beginning. If you don't happen to know any magic tricks, ask your students, a couple of days before, hey, do any of you know a magic trick? I need someone who can do a magic trick for the class here in a couple of days. Would anybody be willing to share one? Make sure the student, shares the trick with you, that they reveal, how the trick is done, and you can see if it will indeed be a good way to introduce the idea of deceptions. You could watch, a magic trick from a YouTube video or something like that. Wouldn't be as engaging because then again, you're just students are passively doing something. But if it was a magic trick, that they were learning and that they could practice with each other, you don't want to spend too much time, just learning magic tricks all morning. But again, just engaging the students in some way so that the topic and the idea of deception is on their minds in a very low-risk way. Other deceptions, an optical illusion could be a fun way to introduce the idea of deception. I'm sure there are others, but those are the two that are coming to mind. I learned a couple of magic tricks while I was a missionary in Hamburg, Germany, and they've come in very handy in seminary on more than one occasion. And, I show the trick and the students are all flummoxed. How did that happen? I do it a second time. They still can't quite see through it. And then before revealing how the trick is done, you say, well, I want to go to the scriptures now, and I want to talk about some of the deceptions that Satan uses. And in fact, that's one of the purposes of the Book of Mormon. And then you use the President Benson quote here, that the Book of Mormon exposes the enemies of Christ. And then here in 2 Nephi chapter 28, it goes through and it shows you, here's the statement of principle. Satan seeks to grasp us with his everlasting chains by stirring up people to anger against that which is good, pacifying, lulling away individuals into carnal security, and telling people that there is no hell and no devil. So it's kind of a three-part stated, split principle there. And so what you've done is you've created this state of readiness, learning all about deception. Hey, the Book of Mormon helps us see through deceptions. And then on the back end, after you've had this good spiritual discussion, then you can say, well, let me show you how to do this magic trick, or let me help you see through this optical illusion. And so to kind of split it up that way to maintain the student's focus and attention is really good. And then do not forget these videos up here at the top, okay? missing a great opportunity for some great videos. I'm not saying replace these videos with some, fun discussion of deception or a magic trick or an optical illusion. I'm saying just use those. It really shouldn't take longer, 5 to 7 minutes at the front end of class, and then hopefully the students will be more ready to talk about deceptions, not just in a what's the word I'm looking for? Not just in a theoretical way, but willing to talk about the deceptions that sometimes they fall for. In fact, I believe there are some scenarios in this lesson. Yeah, right here. Invite students to read these scenarios and then identify which of Satan's tactics in verses 20 through 22, the tactics that people are using to try to get people to fall for falsehoods. So I hope that was helpful. Again, trust the resources that are there in the curriculum. I'm not replacing any of those. I'm just adapting, the first few minutes of class to help you engage the students in a way that might open their hearts and their minds up a little more to talking about deception more practically than merely theoretically. And having fun with a topic, magic tricks, optical illusions, stuff like that can be a good way to do it. So again, hope that was helpful. I'll have another training for you next week. And until then, God bless and take care.